Good. Dookie dookie. Intro. There we go. Make sure that it can hear us. Because I always doubt if it can hear us. After the 27 times it tried to hear us, and it didn't hear us. Alright. Sounds like it can hear us. Cool. Hello and welcome, dear patrons, to the Tables of Tartarus, a chapter of Purgatory Corner. I'm your storyteller Sinspeaks, and today we shall be continuing the tale of shifting fates. Come on in, take a seat, and let your imagination run free. Today I'm here with Eleanor, Averin, and Oliver. Unfortunately, Wally is not here with us today because he's on a road trip, as much as he would prefer to be here. But today we're going to be setting off into the dangerous and deadly lands of Circadia after an event where the team has mostly gotten drunk. Bill managed to find the leader of the entire Circadia area, or the quote unquote leader, as he would say. Managed to drag him all around town to all kinds of different alcoholic joints, drank several liters of rat poison at one point or another, and also alcohol, which he was very disappointed by the fact that they served him rat poison, not alcohol, half the damn time. And then Averin attempted to waste alcohol in front of Bill and failed horrendously, and Bill really desperately hates people not drinking alcohol, wasting alcohol, I should say, so he managed to get her to drink it very forcibly. And then they went on a fun, wild ride of crazy shenanigans inside of a museum, getting a gem of possibly great power, or maybe it's just a really fancy old gem, a ring that Ellie scooped up, and Averin attempting to steal a map from Ellie at one point or another, and again failing horribly. As it turns out, when you are exceptionally inebriated, your hands do not work very well. So, yeah, so we're inside of, I believe you guys just came back to the bar. Bill's sitting at the bar, just kind of drinking a little bit. Oh, that's weird. The king that I don't quite remember the name of, same way I remember his name. Probably should make a list of these things at some point.
We do have a channel for that.
Yeah, I probably should put his name in there. I don't remember it, unfortunately. It was something fancy. But for now, we'll just call him Peter. And I'll figure out what his actual name was at some point. Maybe it was Jeremiah. I don't think it was Jeremiah. But Jeremiah is a fun name. We'll call him Jeremiah. Anyways, yeah, Jeremiah is kind of like on the ground, just kind of like looking up at the sky, which in this case is the tavern ceiling. And Ellie and Averin, you two walk back in after successful thieving. I say thieving both because you stole and because you dodged actual thieves that were stealing with you, who you have no idea who were affiliated with who. But yeah, so that's the scene that's laid out. How do you guys go about this?
Everett is just like, I have attained a shiny gem. I won.
So, like, are we just, oh wait, yeah, we're starting right when we come back from the thieving. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're proud of your precious gem. So you should probably get it checked out by Ollie first.
No, it's mine. No one else can have it. Nope.
It could be cursed.
Worth it though. I can just pawn it off to someone, you know? I can just like get monies for it, you know?
I mean, that is true.
All the monies.
I believe that's what your comrades were wanting to do with it anyways. Whoever they were.
Yeah, but they were gonna like split the monies. And it's all my monies now, so, you know.
Well, I still think you should get the gem checked out by Ollie. It'll take like 5 minutes. That way you don't get cursed or anyone else cursed.
What if
Who knows?
he
You might
steals
end
it?
up sucked into the gem. He wouldn't steal. What use would a doctor have with a gem?
Says that's what they all say. Before they steal
Fair
my
enough.
gems.
Now, Oliver, at this point in time, not entirely sure what your character would have been doing for last week, while Ellie pretty much left you on your own after the Bill came into the bar. Would you have left the bar at some point, or have gone to do something, or had booked a room? What have you been doing?
I think I'm going to say that I was probably out looking for ingredients. I'm just going to say that I probably got done translating one of the pages from my mentor's notebook, and I was going out to gather up ingredients to go test that one out.
Ah, that'll work. So, if you come back probably as a little bit after they do, which was a couple hours after Ellie had left, and you come back to see Averin kind of very tipsily walking forwards and apparently arguing with Ellie about potentially you stealing something of hers.
I get this feeling something happened out there while I was out gathering regents, didn't it?
No. Nothing happened.
Insight.
I mean, I was gonna say something, but you know.
Yeah, 100% roll insight versus her deception.
Dang it.
Absolutely nothing happened.
You're fairly confident that you're fairly confident something happened, but it might just be the fact that she's drunk. But you kind of believe that she doesn't know what happened.
I'd be careful with word choice, especially in a location like this. Never know. Someone might take that sort of thing seriously.
Yeah. She had a lot to drink last night, and I followed her. We went to a really cool museum.
Yeah, I can smell it on her breath.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm completely sober.
Yeah, Bill... She was about to toss a drink, and Bill saved the drink for her. And she chugged it.
It was a good plan. It was a good plan.
Was it, though?
Yes.
Okay. And Ellie's just gonna pat her head.
Maybe I should get
I think
you
she's
a dose
taller than you.
Maybe you should take a dose of my lesser cure-all. I think that would do good right about now. Just digging through his bag.
No, it's
definitely
gonna be
needs
poisoned.
something.
You're gonna poison me, and then you're gonna steal my gem.
Here. Oh my gosh.
You're not unused to this, but for entirely separate reasons than why she's saying this.
Did I really strike you as the individual that deals with poison?
Everyone's an individual that can deal in poison.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, the only person that used the alchemical jar to make poison was you.
That we know of.
She is in fact shorter than you, Ellie. In fact, I think she's 2 inches shorter than you if you made yourself 5'6".
Anyway, I'm just going to go and get started on the next project, just flipping through the notebook a couple more pages again.
Nice.
Anyone need anything? Anyone need anything before I go all off in my room?
Money.
Money.
Don't we all? Anyway, our little drunk lassie right here has a gem that should probably be checked out.
Oh?
No, I don't have any gems, actually. I don't know what you're talking about. You've got gems. I don't got any gems.
I mean, I might have gems. I don't know if I really do.
Don't touch my gems
I
that I don't have.
I can't help you. I can't help you if you won't let me.
Oh, maybe later then.
I got this.
Fair enough.
I got this.
Fair enough. I'm just gonna turn. I'm gonna turn
If
around.
she becomes like a mouse or something, we'll know it's from the gym.
Fair enough. Just turn around and start walking up towards the tavern owner.
I'd be a cute mouse.
Yes, you would.
The dude on the ground, which I've now forgotten the secondary name I was going to give him.
You should probably write these things down.
I should at some point, but every time I mean to, I forget. So I'm gonna call him Peter. I'm just gonna add a note here. It says Peter. Just don't call him Peter. So Peter, I'll definitely retcon this once we get to the next episode and have a chance to look at his actual name, whatever it might be, Sir Peterson. But he's gonna like kind of get up. He's gonna like stand up a little bit. He's again wearing very regal clothing for the most part, and it's not particularly cold in this region. Probably like mid-60s or so, maybe a little bit lower. Kind of fluctuated throughout the day, which you guys are definitely not used to. But he's wearing like a fur coat almost. I mean, it goes from like his neck all the way down to the ground, kind of a fur coat. He's probably around 5'8" ish. Oh shush, computer. Probably around 5'8" ish. As he like stands to his full height and he kind of like stretches a little bit. He's like, I haven't gone drinking like that in probably a couple decades. He is a human, by the way. And kind of like looks at Ellie and Averin. Are you two friends of my little bird friend here?
Sober.
Very.
Yeah.
Doing pretty alright. Just needing a drink.
I love both of you ignored his question.
I thought he was asking how we were doing.
No, he said, are you friends with my little bird friend, Bill?
Oh, yes, we are friends with the bird child.
Right.
Best friends, actually. Can I have your money?
No, I have more money than you would be able to walk with.
That's what you think.
I have an entire castle of money.
Can I have it?
No.
Why would someone with a castle of money be here?
He looks at Bill. He took me out drinking.
Yeah.
I don't quite remember his name though. I think it was.
His name is Bill.
Bill. Gotcha. Bill. That was Bill North for a second.
Yeah.
So
that's the bird I told you to look after when I went to fetch this drunk.
Right. Lily? Ellie, right. Again, I apologize. I'm really bad with names. I'm gonna call you ear lady. Wait, you both have ears. Shit. White hair. There we go. Gotcha. White hair. Yeah. White hair and multicolor hair. So I'm not good with this whole people thing. I usually don't interact with a whole lot of people. I have people to do that for me.
So I have someone you should meet.
Are they a people?
His name is Arthur. There's a small town trying to grow. It's a neutral town called Mercy. It's pretty close to here.
Right. I shall meet this Arnold that you were talking about. I'll do that at some point.
Arthur.
Arthur. Right. Sorry.
Sweet child. I will.
I have issues with names. And
child.
He looks down at you. You're kind of scary, you know that white-haired lady? Yeah, there we go.
I have you know I am the most terrifying thing in the world.
Nah, I've seen ooze.
I talk to God.
Have you ever watched a person get devoured by a walking ooze?
I mean, I'm sure one of the gods can arrange that viewing for me.
Probably. I don't actually talk with the gods a whole lot. They aren't really in my wheelhouse, you know?
They're stuck in mine.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Eleonora. Anyways, yeah, so, he took me out drinking, and, honestly, most fun I've had in, like, kind of, like, looks at the ground for a second. Probably a decade, yeah.
He was probably plotting to take your money. That's what I would have done.
Well, maybe. I would just give him money, but, honestly, I paid all of his bar tabs. Good time. Half of them were poison. It's a good thing I've built up a great immunity to rat poison. And I have a couple healing potions on me. Anyways, Hi. My name is, insert name here that I'm using Peter as a proxy for. And I kind of run this entire area.
Hi, my name is Eleonora, or Ellie. I wield a fry pan. I've worked at several bars now. I'm adventuring around helping to stop the war. Yeah.
It's good to meet you, Lily. What's your name, other-haired person?
Averin, like, steps forward and then just, like, tipsily stumbles over to, Peter. And just like, my name is Carla. And I'm an adventuring warrior, and you're just the guy that I would like to help me out with an amazing business opportunity. Hear me out. I just need 100 gold coins in order to fund my amazing business opportunity. Would you like to help me out here?
Do me a favor and roll me a persuasion.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, you can lock your arm around her still.
I was gonna ruffle her hair. It's like, oh, just ignore her. It's fine.
If you want to roll me a persuasion real quick, Averin. Nice.
It's an 18.
Wait, hold on, let me just... Nice. He's don't look at you with a very confused face for a second as Ellie ruffles your hair. So just ignore. He's don't go like, well, Avi, sounds like an interesting opportunity. Is he looks at Bill for a second.
Is Carla?
Is Bob? Oh, sorry, Carla. Carly. Colleen.
Yeah.
I got it right. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Car.
Mm-hmm.
It is I okay. He like looks at Bill. Is Bob part of your business opportunity by any chance?
Yes.
Ah, sweet. He reaches into his bag and hands you a very small coin bag. Here's 10 platinum. That's about 100 gold.
Thank you. Everyone takes the money. Fumbles it into her coat.
He's like, I am excited to see your business opportunity grow, and if you ever need some business tips or business like equity, you can always come to me, and I'll be happy to. Where's my necklace? Around me, I lost my necklace.
What?
I don't have my necklace.
Everyone looks around, see if she can find the necklace.
I mean, real life me, but roll me an investigation if you would. Wow, that's annoying. Yeah, don't. Did you find it?
You had it on the desk last night.
Oh, right, because I put it on the desk because I was going to take a shower. Jesus, criminy Christ!
What the fuck's going on?
Hold on, let me put my heart back in my throat.
That is a sound.
She scared me too.
That is a sound I commonly make when the cat spontaneously comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I put my necklace on the desk yesterday because I went to take a shower. And the only times I ever have my necklace off are usually after when I like take a shower or something like that, and I didn't realize I had it off for the entire day. So I felt around my neck to see if I could find it, because I grab it randomly and it wasn't there. And I was like, oh no, did I lose it at work? And I did in fact lose a connector piece. Well, that's a problem. Oh well, I'll fix it after that. Anyways, hey, well, you found it. You found it with Ellie's help, but you found it. Anyways, yeah. So he's like, if you ever want to expand your business, did you jimmy the lock? I think she jimmied the lock again. My lock is very ineffective, guys. She jimmied my lock.
It was never locked in the first place.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so he like looks at me and he's like, if you ever want to expand your business and create it and flourish and grow, feel free to contact me or my business partner. We do a lot of business together. Mostly he runs the place, and I'm just kind of the figurehead and also the guy that can kill people. He doesn't attack people very often. I, however, have learned how to stab people in 12 different towns.
That is an impressive skill set.
Exactly. Not many people mess with someone who can drink rat poison and also kill people.
Fun.
So where can I contact you? If once you're lovely and nothing.
Come back to Circadia at any point, and you'll just ask for insert name here, Peter, and I will I'll let them know your He kind of stares at you for a hard moment. Lucy. That was your name, right?
Yes.
All right. I'll let them know that Lucy will try to find them. He's gonna like turn around and look around the room. I don't have a guard in here. He's gonna like stick his head outside. Guards! Jot down Lucy as a... He looks back at you. It was Lucy, right? Or was it Lily?
Yes. Either of those.
Alright. Lucy or
Lucy
Lily is on
Lily.
my permitted to see list. And he looks at Ellie. A lady with white
Ellie.
hair. Ellie.
Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie. Lady white hair and giant... Is that a fry pan? How do you use a fry pan as a
Yes.
weapon? That's impressive.
Ow, honestly, I need to tell you the stories. I beat up a 11-foot tall paladin with it.
Wow. I killed an orc. Yeah, twinsies. Anyways, Lucy over here is... Wait, did I already say Lucy? I don't remember what names I used.
Yes.
He like looks at the wall for a
Lucy and
second.
Ellie.
Lucy and Ellie, right? All right, yeah. Lucy and Ellie are they can see me at any time, Mr. Guardfolk. Just if they come in, they start looking for me. Let them through. Bring them to my palace. All right. He like comes back and through the door and walks up and he's like, all right, business achieved. This is how you do business, right? I don't really deal with people very often. Am I doing this right?
You are doing
I'd say so.
amazingly.
You're doing great.
All right, cool. So great support. I love the support here. I apologize for not remembering your names. Elenia.
Just Ellie. It's fine.
L.
Or Gray.
Oh,
Gray can work
Gray.
too.
I can't remember Gray.
Just Mrs.
I can't
Gray.
remember colors. I'm good at remembering
Okay.
colors. I like colors. Did you know? Green's a
tell.
color. Yeah.
Uh,
Green's a good color.
Indeed. I can assure you, thank you. Your investment means a lot to me. I mean us. I mean me.
Your true
Well,
colors are
I'm
showing,
glad. We try to do our best here to make sure that support is given, and I like seeing jumpstart young ventures like you really going out on their way. Now a little bit of helpful advice from me, since you're starting ventures. don't join a war. It'll kill you.
Yeah, we're trying to end it.
Oh, that's like the opposite of what I just said.
It's not joining it if you end it before it happens.
I feel like they're both about the same level of danger.
I mean, technically, yes.
Yeah. I don't like people, my people to be injured. You see, and that's why we have twice as many guards as we used to last month. So, yeah, just don't get in, don't interfere with it. We're staying out of the war. You know, we're staying really far away from the war. You know, as far as we can possibly be. That way, we all don't die. I recommend you do the same thing. Gray. I remember Gray. I like Gray. He stares at Averin. Looney. Yeah.
Yeah. Technically, my hair is black, but that's kind of a shade of gray.
No.
Uh, it's
No.
dark gray.
No,
Black
no,
is
you're
just
not
dark gray.
gray at all. No. That's my name. No one else gets gray.
But
No. Yeah.
He's staring at
I
you
will hit you
somewhat
with
confused.
this. And she raises her front.
your hair is white. That's different.
Okay, my name can be Gray. It's Ellie Gray, thank you very much. And if a guy asks you and his name is Jackson and he's looking for an Ellie, tell him that my last name is Grampy. That's all.
Grandpa. Gotcha. That's a weird last name.
No, it's Gray. Last
Oh.
name's Gray. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. My name is Ellie Gray. If you
Oh,
meet
man,
another
man.
person with the last name Gray, I'm sorry. Also, your name is Leo.
Leo. That's right. Leonidas, specifically.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
I totally forgot that his name was Leo. He's like, right.
I was looking through the transcript.
Yeah, that was his intelligence roll, by the way. It's like, okay, so if two Greys are here, they're different Greys. Gotcha. I don't remember names well, but I remember faces.
I like red.
Well, if you ever meet a Jackson Gray, he's a raggedy old man, not literally, but raggedy thief, like this one beside me. Pour him a drink, and then dump a
Right.
drink on him.
If
and tell
I
him to
meet
go
a
back home.
Peter Gray, I'll be sure to remember them.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And be sure to dump a drink on him and tell him to go home.
It seems like a mean thing to do to your friend. You just don't look at Bill. Should I dump a drink on him? Is that what friends
No,
do?
he's fine.
Oh.
He's been nice.
What? Why would I dump a drink on someone I don't even know? You okay, ma'am?
You know, I've just been through a lot. It's okay. Don't worry about me.
Alright, well, if you two need
Let's
me
just
for any
focus on
reason,
something else.
if you two need me for any reason, be sure to contact me. You know, I don't have many friends, or people I talk to, or business associates, or
You should
anyone
check
other
out
assassins.
Mercy.
Gotcha.
Mercy. It's a little town near here. We just saved it recently, and you can gain a lot of friends. I highly recommend talk to the tallest person of the town. His name would be Arthur, and he's in full glacier plot armor. He's absolutely wonderful, and yeah. Sorry,
He stares at you
I'm trying to
blankly
stop
for a
myself
second.
talking.
He just stares at you really blankly for a second. He's like, I should go to Larnacy and talk with the tallest
Mercy.
fellow. Oh.
Mercy.
Larceny!
Larceny. Gotcha. Go larceny.
You know, if my group ever goes there, we'll drag you with. How about that?
Am I allowed
Not
to leave
literally
this
drag
town?
you.
He legitimately
you're the
looks
king.
like he looks off to a distance, like slightly confused, like, am I allowed to leave?
No, not since the incident of '09.
Ah, damn,
Oh
you're
my
right.
gosh.
Right,
King.
hold on. What's his intelligence level?
Oh no. Please.
Ah.
You're able to leave the town.
No, you're right. Yeah, that instant, I don't remember what happened there, but it was a bad instant. I remember that much. Yeah, sorry, not allowed to leave.
Yeah.
Well, I have a sending stone. Maybe we can. I can just talk to you off and on while we travel. How about that?
Cool, that'll work. I have my own sending stone. It's just, I can't use it very well, you know? I mean, I keep trying to, and then wrong people answer.
That's
Kind of
concerning.
sucks. Well, he kind of like looks at you and is like, yeah, well, you know, Lolly, it's really hard to remember people's names, you know?
You should probably write it down.
I would, but I don't know how to write.
Oh, sweet, sweet child. How did you come about being king?
Oh, it's a funny story. Everyone else who was king died, and then they appointed me at some point, and I haven't died yet, so they think I'm a good leader so far, and so I don't really talk to most people. And half the people in this town don't actually like me, which is why I've drunken like 2 liters of rat poison in the last 4 hours, and it's a good time,
Are
though.
you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. I have health potions.
Do you need a safe place to go to?
No one's gonna kill me unless I stop drinking my health potions. And you know, you build a resistance to rat poison eventually, you know?
I mean, true, I guess.
Nothing can kill you if you get wounded by it enough.
Okay.
You can very clearly tell this man does not have all the nuts in his fucking drawer.
So,
Uh-huh.
can you tell me about Circadia?
Oh yeah, this place was dug long time ago, way before I was here. It's a good place. The gods' powers fluctuate here constantly, sometimes making people very depressed, but it's fine. And it's where we get the day and night cycles, 12 hours each. It gets kind of bright, kind of dark, and you know, as it starts going, it changes. So like every 6 hours or so, it starts to get a little bit brighter, a little bit darker, and you know, at midnight and noon, it gets very dark and very bright. You know, all that fun stuff. But we're a fairly useful trading town. We trade with most places, including the dwarves, and not very often the dwarves or you know the elves or anything like that. But you know we're a neutral town, so as long as no one starts a fight, we tend to. We have some I don't know. Am I allowed to talk about this? We have some gambling rings that we have here. Connects all over the place. You know, some not gnomes. Yes, gnomes? Yeah, probably gnomes. Goblins too. Yeah. All kinds of people. Dragonborn come here. We're a very neutral town, you know? And so we have all kinds of folks coming in and out constantly. And so, some are a lot more bloodthirsty than others. But don't worry. We got a whole good squad protecting us. Mostly it's me. And my guards. We do a good job.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, seems like a really nice town. I
Oh.
came from Littlefoot. I worked strictly at Grumble's Tavern. I believe they're
Ah.
connected.
He kind of like looks off in distance for
Well,
a
the two
second.
bars.
Grumble. Nope, not ringing a bell.
Mm.
So it was a bar.
Yes.
Is it to the right or left?
The left.
The
Huh.
right. It's in Helios.
Oh. I don't. That name doesn't ring a bell.
Bright sunny side of everything.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's probably our gnome tavern. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
All right. Cool. You seem to know a lot about this. You're very smart. You know that.
I'm glad you think so. I'm definitely an airhead when it comes to a few things, though.
Don't worry. I am too. He gives you a thumbs up.
Twinsies again.
Yeah. All right. Well, Eleanor, if you need me, at all, just feel free to call upon. Yeah, I owe you guys a standing favor. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out what looks to be like a weird scrap of paper of sorts, and like a quill pen that he grabs off of the bartender's thing, and he just starts scribbling all over the paper. And he's like, "Here you go. This is a contract." It is
Okay.
absolute gibberish. In fact, you're not
Thank you
even
so
sure if
much.
those are even words. They just look like lines. And he's like, yeah. It turn that it's like an IOU basically, and you turn that into me. I'll do something in your favor. You know, obviously not going to do anything that clearly gets me or my team murdered. But if you need me, I'm probably be there.
Hmm. I'll hold it. I'll keep it safe. Don't worry. Everyone attempts to
Just
take
don't
the
grab another slip of paper
no,
and scribble
it's
down
just
more
gonna
and
go
hand
in my
it to
bag.
everyone.
Yay!
That works.
Now you both have an IOU.
I will treasure this deeply. Don't worry.
Sweet. All right, have a good night, guys. I'm gonna get back to castle, my home, before I have to drink more rat poison. Don't worry, bartender. You can keep in your stocks. He'll
Well,
just
he
start
seemed
walking
fun.
out.
Bye-bye. Everyone leans over to Ellie, just like, he's a nice guy. What a
Yeah, but
sucker.
he seems like it.
Yeah.
What a sucker.
Bless his heart. Goodness.
Yeah. So night just starts kind of going on. It's a lot darker than you guys are used to. But so you're just kind of sitting at the bar. Oliver's away and Bill's passed out on the bar.
I just assume I'm in my room.
Mm-hmm.
Which reminds me, how much would a room cost?
Probably like 3 silver for the night.
3 silver? Okay.
So you guys are just kind of at the bar, sitting there. Slowly, Averin, you're getting less drunk. Roll me a Constitution save.
Constitution. Yep. And yep. It's an 8.
Not by very much. You're still kind of tipsy, but you know it's getting better. Slowly.
So, Abrin,
Yeah.
why don't you tell me about yourself?
Why don't you tell me about yourself?
How will we play a game?
Okay.
We will play Truth or Dare.
No,
Or
not
choose-
that game. No.
Okay. How about Two Truths and a Lie?
Okay. Alright.
And if we get it wrong, we have to take a shot.
Okay.
Thought you were gonna go with money for this one.
Oh no, we're doing shots, and I'll be serving the drinks.
I'll serve the drinks, actually. I'll do it.
Okay, how about we both do it?
Okay.
Ellie's gonna grab a bottle that looks
Uh-huh.
like alcohol, but it's really water.
So, what looks like vodka.
Yep.
Alright, cool. Uh-huh.
So, grab a couple of glasses and start filling them up.
Mhm.
Okay. I will go first.
Okay.
I have used disguise self. I was raised by a gnome. And I've been arrested.
I'm gonna
I've been
say.
arrested.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that the lie is. What was the first one again?
I really need to write these down.
Did you forget your own truths and lies?
Yes, I did, because Ruby, you attacked my face.
The kiddo's like, I have succeeded.
She's like, I'm gonna eat your face. Raised by gnomes, arrested. So that one would be. I have a sister.
Okay. So I know that I know you have a sister. Okay. So I want to say the lie is you've been arrested. You're too much of a goody two shoes for that. It's kind of weird. I don't get it.
Yeah, it turns out when you've been basically raised by a thief, you get pretty sneaky.
Oh, yeah. So did you get arrested? Did you commit a felony?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'll leave that to your imagination.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
What's considered a felony to some people is considered nothing to others, so to each their own.
It's not a crime if you don't get caught, am I right?
Right?
Yeah.
I should just raise a glass.
Okay, my turn then?
Yep.
Alright, okay. Let's see. I was raised by a bard. I scammed a dwarf. And oh, this is hard. I lie all the time. I can't make up truths.
Well, then, do you want to just drink and talk about random stuff? Like Leo the King, the Forgetful King?
Yeah, okay. Alright.
This bard person, did they teach you all your musical songs? Ugh, my brain cannot function.
Yeah. I barely remember his name now, you know. I made up so many backstories for myself. It's hard to remember what actually is right, you know. But I remember him, you know.
We've met a couple of bards. There was this band of bards we met that had a singing slime.
Oh.
Just this little tiny slime singing away with his drummer orc friend.
Oh, that's cute.
And there's an elf in the group, and I believe a human.
Yeah, sounds about right. My bard was from a band of thieves, you know. They raised me. They found me on the streets of the slums, you know. Everin fumbles for the drink, for the bottle to like pour herself a drink.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of ending up in the Citadel, I ended up in a forest. I was a baby, just left at the forest because Dad basically went eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Whoever comes out first gets to stay, and the other one needs to disappear.
Gets to go.
Oh.
Yeah. Turns out Dad's a jerk and has to be killed.
Everyone's a little bit of a jerk, you know.
Oh, yeah. My kinda fiance, kinda not fiance, is seen as an asshole a lot of the time, but he's very much a little softy. He's such a teddy bear. He keeps stubbing his toe on every little corner. It's hilarious to me. Granted, that's because I keep moving the furniture like an inch over.
So mean.
But that's because he doesn't. He tends to toss me out of the trees, or call me shorty, or pointy ears, or pots. That one he picked up from a bard. But yeah, maybe you'll meet him one day. Who knows? I
Probably.
was actually hoping to pop over to Mercy so I can see him and Arthur again before we go to the orcs, because last time we saw the orcs, it was army of thousands. Basically a suicidal mission at this point.
Awesome.
Ellie's just gonna slump down and just cross her arms and rest on them. And just run her finger on the brim of a glass.
Slump.
Also, random note. The elf bard that was in the traveling bard group we were in, ran into. He played the lute. And he managed to see our bard at the time that was completely stealth. He played really good. He was super friendly. Absolutely wonderful.
Averin, roll me intelligence save.
Okay. Intelligence save. Oh, there it is.
Never mind.
Wow. Okay. Curses.
The idea of an elven bard with a lute that ran off to be in a band of bards, it's kind of in your mind somewhere. You have no earthly idea why it sparks anything inside your mind, but somewhere. Yeah. Sparks something.
My bard was a nice guy, too.
Maybe we'll meet him one day.
Maybe. You know, he told, in our band, I ended up double crossing them.
Why?
I don't know, flipping. Our band, their whole thing was that, we steal from people, but we don't steal from each other, It was a commitment. I don't know, maybe I was just too young, too naive, but I don't know, maybe I was scared, But I just ended up running off, and I forged myself some false identities. Everything's not even my real name. I don't remember it.
Oh?
I don't remember what my real name was. This is...
Eleonora is a name that was given to me.
Most names are. What is a name, really?
Something that someone just puts on you, that way they can add a face to a name. That's like an apple. If I say apple, you think of an apple because you attach the name to the object.
Mm.
Want to hear a funny?
Yeah.
I heard from a drunk years ago that if you were to toss an apple to someone, that's considered marriage. If the person catches it, of course.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is pretty weird. I wasn't sure if it was too true. Because he was drunk. And then he tried beating up my poor best friend. Which didn't work, to say the least, and then I came flying in with my fry pan. So, you know.
Assassination McGee.
Assassination. Also, I'm banned from cooking because anything I cook with this freaking fry pan makes people sick. No matter how I do it. And it's because the god that made it all fancy for me put a little curse on it, because if it's going to be used as a weapon, it shouldn't be used for cooking because, you know, contamination. Apparently that's a thing, I guess, that gods care about.
Gods are weird. Not a fan.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. They dress nice, though.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Person at the top does whatever, you know?
Yeah. I guess you gotta look fancy if you're gonna control people.
Well, you know, everyone gestures to her own coat and tie and whatnot. You know, you dress nice. Dress nice, you are nice, you know?
I dressed for comfy, and Ellie just looks at her t-shirt and... Well, yes, she's wearing the frumpy dress, but, yeah. Anyway.
Everyone looks her up and down. Your first mistake.
Yeah. To say the
First
least.
of many.
You know what? Usually I'm barefoot, but going through Cataclysm barefoot was not a good idea.
Yeah.
Which, if you stick around, which hopefully you do, we'll be going to Cataclysm here in a bit, because we have to talk to the orcs. And I've seen how you were able to even trick a king, despite how lousy he was. You were able to trick a king drunk.
Yeah. You know, I was actually planning on leaving before, you know.
Yeah, everyone plans to leave at some point. You wouldn't be the first of our group to leave.
Oh, well, that's just sad. Downer. You know,
kind of used to it at this point.
Oh goodness. You know,
Ellie's taking a swig.
I had a debt to Tommy. I had to pay off. Everyone takes a shot. I had a debt to him. I had to pay up, and I had to convince the guy to help Tommy out, and you know, all that sort of stuff. And the guy told me I had to go back to Tommy, and you know, I didn't think that I was gonna be able to have back, you know. It just didn't really seem plausible. I mean, you know, convince the group to go back, and they don't even know what you're actually doing, am I right? So I was
we really don't know what we're doing. Sorry.
Does anyone really?
The issue with that is Oliver's dead to
Yes. When did that happen?
the Citadel.
Oh.
Well, okay, wait. He's not literally dead. Ellie's gonna take a swig.
Oliver slowly peeks his head out.
He's not actually dead. It just, we had to fake his death because Dad thing was wanting him killed because he found the cure and he doesn't want the cure to exist. So we had to fake his death.
Sounds complicated. You want me to
However,
murder him?
no,
Yet.
no. We need him alive. We need everyone alive. If we can avoid as much death as possible, that'd be wonderful. If there has to be a death, I would rather it be me, anyone else. Nonetheless, if push comes to shove, we can use my sending stone to Tommy. Funny enough, I paid off freaking Jackson's debt to Tommy recently, and it was a pretty hefty fine, so I'd hate to have another person in Tommy's debt. Not that he doesn't seem like someone that would kill you over the debt, but you know.
It's not the type for murder, probably. He'd probably just, make me his constant servant or something. I don't know, or torture me mentally for all eternity or something. I don't know. Seems the type.
I have no idea.
Yeah. So I was planning to do what I always do. It's my specialty. I was gonna steal your map, and I was gonna head all the way up to the weird gray place, and then I don't know, scam people or something. Do what I do, you know.
Yeah, I've gotten used to my maps being stolen at this point. Jackson would. Yeah. Well, that's because I'm used to them being taken, because I would purposely have them easy to grab, because Jackson would steal the maps off and on whenever he lost his. Or it got ruined due to a torture, I guess. So he'd always take my maps I would try to make from scratch from junk by him.
Sounds like a weird guy.
Kiddo started screaming. A little bit of a strange folk. Yeah. So,
Anyway.
Yep.
We can use the sending stone to talk to Tommy, that way we can avoid trying to go back to deserted.
Yeah. I mean, like, what comes after that? Because, I can repay my debt to Tommy, but I still got everything else. And then, like, I don't know. War sounds complicated. It's not my thing. My thing is money. And more money. I mean, like, once you get involved in war, you get involved in all sorts of weird moral stuff. And, then you gotta be like,
Well,
just like quotes here, a good person. That's exhausting. Got form attachments to people, and then you gotta maintain those things. Constantly think about what's good for them, and then commitment.
well, think about it this way. No matter what you do, someone's gonna think that you're the bad guy. Even if it's saving the world, you will always constantly have an enemy.
You're not
Depressing.
making this enticing.
Well, it's just what it is. I'm new to this, so I don't know how I can make it enticing. We're going to be trying to convince a horde of orcs to not battle. In
So
my
doing
opinion,
the
I don't want
impossible.
you to come because I don't want you to die. The fewer deaths there is, the better, in my opinion. However, your skill would be great. Because you can sneak about to find out, hey, where's everyone at, or is it safe? Or you can help try to convince the orcs to work with us.
So what you're saying is, either my options here are do what I do, and I don't know, probably, I'm either die trying to do the moral thing, or die in the great place. I'll probably die either way. I mean, like, look at me. I got lifeline depths from everybody. You know, from that guy probably to that guy. And I think that guy might know me. Ooh.
My idea of you
Pulls up
just
her
pointing
hood.
to random people and all of them are like not even looking at you.
You know, that guy might know me.
I just imagine just like late at night that just all of them are just out cold.
Oh yeah.
Like half of them are out cold. She's just pointing at those, just like that's a threat.
That's a
That
threat.
guy might
That's-
know me. I wonder if he's still breathing. That guy, I don't like him. He might actually be dead. I think he's dead.
I think that guy's just dead.
Well, okay, think about it this way. There is a probability that thousands of people would be so happy and respect you to such a high degree, they would want to reward you if you were to end this war before it even starts. Whether that is money, respect, a room, food, a path, or some sort of travel ability. But that's if you're able to end the war before it even starts. Because no one wants to die. Not yet. Not before they plan it, or not before it even happens. So, we can end the war before it even starts, and we can avoid all that. And we have thousands of people that were going to be sacrificed for an ego and lose out on family and friends and their homes. Or we can avoid all that. And we can
Yes.
end the war.
I guess war would be pretty inconvenient. You know?
It really would be, because you'll have 1,000 less people to steal from. And
Yeah,
with
you're
the
right.
war going on, if there's war, higher security. There's going to be more security all around. You won't be able to steal anymore. And if
Oh.
you steal during wartime, that means you're going to likely be killed instead of having a slap on the wrist.
Mm.
It's a pick your poison situation. This isn't just rat poisoning anymore. This is mercury.
Mm.
This is arsenic level.
Oof.
If you try to steal when this war is happening, because after this point, everyone's just going to be more up in arms. Everyone's going to be more weary of their surroundings. So it's going to be harder for you to steal. And it's going to be harder for people to get food by stealing the food to help themselves. Which means there's going to be more hungry people. And what do hungry people do? They get desperate. And then we have a different kind of war on top of the other one. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to convince you yes or no. I am giving you the reality because I am exhausted and I am over it.
Yeah?
So,
Yeah.
that is what it is. And then Ellie is going to take the bottle and drink the rest of it.
I watch her start chugging what appears to be vodka.
Yeah.
No, she grabbed the vodka this time.
Oh. We'll make Constitution save. You are,
She was giving Averin the water.
Oh,
Ellie was having vodka.
Jesus. Yeah, roll me that Constitution save once you start chugging that fucking bottle. Ugh.
Ellie's out.
Oh, it's hitting you hard. You're starting to slur your words.
Oh, don't die.
I'm fine.
I can't pickpocket you if you die. I'll just have to loot the corpse.
It's called
That's no
grave
fun.
robbing. I'm not an archaeologist. I'm a thief.
I'll be fine.
Hmm?
I just need to sleep and argue with a god. But the decision's up to you, and she's just going to slowly lift her hand up and try to poop her forehead, but then lands on her shoulder. I should get going. I rambled too much, and if I don't get going, Jackson's gonna complain that I drank again. A whole bottle is bad for me.
Hmm.
I gotta go. Last time I was like this, I almost burnt down a bar.
You don't do that yet. There's still cool stuff in this bar.
Toodaloo! And Ellie's just going to get up and trip a couple times and stub her toe and say, "Fuck it,
Is Everett feeling
And-
better now?
At this point, you've pretty much just been drinking water and been talking for like probably an hour or so. So yeah, you're feeling much better. You're starting to sober up.
Yeah, cool. Everett is just gonna like take a moment, stare at Ellie, and then see if she can help her up to like, I don't know, some room or another.
Oh,
There's probably rooms in this bar, you know.
there's a couple of them. Yeah, one next to Ollie's room that you saw. So yeah, you can bring her to that one.
Oh, thank you. And she's gonna pat your face and kiss you, try to kiss you on the cheek, but then she just drools and slumps on your shoulder.
Erin just like moves her face away and it's just like, don't mention it. No, really, don't. It's bad for my reputation.
Okay, you silly.
Mm-hmm.
So you get her into her
Yeah.
room.
You're like a little sister to me. You should stop stealing. That's not cool.
I'll have you know that stealing is very cool.
Jackson's
whole thing.
cool. So it should be cool, actually. Okay. I'm going to sleep.
Okay.
So you manage to get her into her room, and the moment you kind of push her onto the bed, more or less, she's just fucking out. Like she's just completely out cold, just curled up into a ball and sleeping. You're pretty tired at this point. You're pretty tired at this point. You've been up for probably a majority of the day. You've actually seen the sun rise and fall today. It was very strange for you. But yeah, so you're feeling kind of tired, but you're also at that post alcohol feeling. So your mind is a little bit more clear. Not as tired as you probably should be. So what you plan on doing? Just heading straight to bed, or going and talk to Oliver, or
Bed? What's bed? Everett's gonna go talk to Oliver.
all right. Cool. So you probably gently close her door. I don't know if you want. Do you want to gently do it? Or do you want to fucking slam it close?
Everett will gently do it. You know,
Alright,
just want to
cool.
wake up Ellie.
Well, so you gently close it. You walk out to Oliver's room. You knock on the door. And Oliver, you've been playing with not playing, but you've been gently measuring carefully, changing around your equipment and probably mashing a lot of plants into what needs to be done and different ingredients and all that, measuring out liquids and such. And you hear a knock on your door.
Hello.
Hey, Avrin, is something up? I'd be opening the door.
Yes, well, Ellie has drunken herself to sleep. And I'm personally feeling better, and I just figured I'd get to know you more. You know, we haven't really talked very much on this journey.
Yeah, sorry about that. I've been mostly busy with work here.
Mm.
Especially with the infection that was going on down there. Kind of impressive I haven't seen any signs of it up here yet. So the city would be the sort of location that would flourish.
Well, you know, that's how it is.
I suppose. So, was there anything specifically you were thinking of to know about it immediately? Or,
Tell me about yourself. I haven't gotten to know you very much.
well, I'm an alchemist that came from a... I guess the best way to phrase it was it was a merchant town a little way east to the north of here. We called it Silver Pass. I was operating as a doctor there for a while.
Mm. Mm. So what brought you here then?
I'll just say one thing led to another. Remember that infection I was treating up in the Citadel?
Yes.
Well, did you know how if later on segments of it actually has mind manipulation?
Oh.
Specifically, it makes the victims exceptionally aggravated and aggressive, especially towards anyone that suggests treating it.
And paranoid.
And let's not forget the paranoia, as well as, well, eventual exploding.
So what you're saying is there is a zombie virus that makes people explode?
Yep. I think that should be. I'll just say it's a pretty deadly infection. As a matter of fact, the primary reason I actually wound up meeting up with Ellie and Reen in the first place was when I was retreating from the village after, well, I, as the individual that was trying to find a treatment for it, naturally triggered pretty much all of the ire of the infection, and they proceeded to ransack my office.
Oh dear.
Yeah, safety in numbers. I managed to hitch a ride on a caravan on the way out. Met up with them in Greytown, a little ways further to the north, just to the south of the what was it
Trail
called? The
Bloody Tears.
Trail of Bloody Tears. And we just started exploring together from there.
Mm.
What about yourself?
Oh, well, I'm merely just a bard from the slums, you know. Play, playing my tunes and meeting people. I get around, you know.
Yeah, still sounds like an exciting. Still sounds like an exciting lifestyle.
Exciting, yes. Dangerous, also yes.
Brief aside, I don't suppose you know much about demi-planes, do you? Just thumbing over towards a partially filled orange vial all over by his lap equipment.
Demi-blades?
Demi-planes. How should I explain it? It's sort of like a miniature dimension. I hear that some spellcasters and Paylor knows what else use them as like miniature panic rooms.
Hmm. Does Everett know anything about this?
Roll me an intelligence check, just flat.
Intelligence, okay.
You
I do.
vaguely heard about it from a couple of places, considering you're a bard, and bards are spellcasters that were trained somewhat academically, somewhat orally traditions. You've heard a little bit about the demi-planes before. Not a whole lot of knowledge about them, but probably just like very basic stuff that Oliver would be able to go about, like being a panic room, for example.
I've heard of them. Never experienced them or anything like that, but yeah, I've heard of them.
Well, my old mentor wrote up this notebook here, and I managed to actually. I guess the best way to phrase it is translated a couple of his old recipes. One of them actually seems to indicate some level of mostly stable demi-plane. It lasts for about an hour before proceeding to collapse and violently hurl whatever was inside of it back into whatever plane opened the portal.
Hmm. Fascinating.
I was midway into creating it. Wanted to know if you might have any sort of details for this sort of thing before I devote myself too much to this one. Because I won't lie, this is the first time I've made something like this before.
Hmm.
So far it looks like a description, but I can never be certain.
Hmm.
You have very little practical knowledge about this, so not much you would be able to offer him.
Yeah. My only knowledge when it comes to spellcasting is what's convenient for me and my career. So I'm no wizard or anything.
Fair enough, but most of my resources have been dedicated to medicine anyway.
Hmm. Yes, well, very interesting. Do you have any achievements in medicine or anything like that?
At this point,
Anything in your portfolio?
the most I can really claim is I did actually finish the treatment for that infection.
Oh.
That's probably the biggest one I can actually bring up. Problem is, the majority of everything else that I can pull from for my kit, honestly, mostly he just involves this: pulling up a small lens that looks kind of like a monocle.
Mm.
So
Dappa.
it's a small lens that, when treated with the right kind of elemental fluid, can be used to identify the magical properties of objects
Oh.
and potions and their elemental
Interesting.
makeup.
Mm.
It's a pretty important tool for most alchemists down here. I feel anyway.
Feels like the sort of thing one would use to detect whether their, I don't know, drink has been poisoned or something.
Well, you could use it for that. Definitely could use it for that, but honestly, it's more prominently useful for specifically examining magical effects.
Hmm.
Especially considering most poisons just like an earthen sort of concoction, earthen and water. But that's pretty true for most general foods and alcoholic beverages. So might still
Magic
be a little bit
roofies.
difficult with it.
Got the magic roofies.
Wait.
Hmm?
I'm just trying to figure out what it is I said that sounded like that. Crap.
I know the idea of like what everyone was saying, like if you would use it to investigate magical ailments on like poisons and stuff on your drink, and my immediate thought was magic roofies.
I'm getting just now confused.
Do you not know what a roofie is?
No.
Oh, essentially it's a drink.
Oh,
It's
baby.
uh, I guess it's a drug kind of that a lot of people put into other people's drinks at bars that make them pass out, and it's a common drug used for kidnapping.
Mm.
Essentially, it's just knockout drops
More or
from
less,
like
yeah.
Tom and Jerry. No.
It has probably a proper name to it, but I've always heard it be called roofies.
Basically chloroform, but you're able to put it in a drink.
Oy.
Yeah. Anyways, keep on.
Yes, well, I was wondering, you're able to like make things, right? I wonder, is that something that you can teach a person, or?
I mean, I can always try. But also, what I came to was under our basic understanding of elemental makeups, and I am willing to give you a basic synopsis. Might take
Mm.
a couple of hours to do that, though.
Well, we've got time probably, unless you needed sleep or something. I actually do not know what time it is outside.
Eh, I can probably make do with about 6 hours, but we've still got a little bit of time before I need to get started with that one. All right. I'm just gonna go over, open up a scroll case, and just practically papers just explode out of the thing.
Whoosh.
Goodness.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I need to get into organizing these a little later.
I can imagine.
There is. Aha! Just like pulls out a page with a small graph. I'm gonna start with the very basics, just sliding the page over to her.
Nice.
The typical perspective of most alchemists is that literally all matter and all magic is made of some variation of four basic elements: wind, fire, water, and earth. And the primary way that you can create literally any physical object or any sort of crap. I'm just above game, lost track of thought.
You're good.
Or synthesize any sort of magical effect is by finding out the right level of purity for each of these elements and mixing them together with the proper, very specific, real physical object around us. In a manner of speaking, I'm certain you probably at some point heard the tales of alchemists using this method to try and convert lead into gold. Or at least those that would claim that they were capable of doing so. Well, we did eventually find the concoction for it, but dear God, does it require high purity. You need to convert.
So it's possible?
Possible, but very expensive and very difficult.
She proceeds to immediately grab some lead.
All right.
She's like, I do not currently have the material to pull that off as it stands. I could give you a list of ingredients. I could theoretically do so, but it's going to take a bit of time.
I'd be interested.
It's like a fucking child in a candy store, just like, oh yeah. Good lord. Well, the night, as you're pretty much being trained by Oliver on, like, very basic alchemy stuff, the night goes by pretty well and pretty effectively. You have now, player-wise, have unlocked the ability to multi-class into specifically an artificer alchemist, if you so chose to in the future. For any of your future levels, you're able to take start levels in alchemist, if you wish to. But essentially now have a very base knowledge of Oliver's general idea behind alchemy, and how some of the alchemical elements match up with each other and everything like that. Eventually, I assume he goes to sleep because, growing ball needs sleep. I don't think... No, you're a half-elf. You do need sleep, just less. I believe, yeah. So you guys eventually head to bed, and the night oddly enough, your windows, you do in fact have the night actually pass, and you're woken up at roughly probably 8 o'clock in the morning, 6 to 8 o'clock in the morning, by sunlight blasting through your windows. I assume, Oliver, that you do your usual routine of praying to Paylor, or...
Yep.
Alright. So you do your usual routine. Ellie, you have a completely black sleep. Like, it's one of those sleeps where, like, you pass out and then you wake up. Like, there's no dreams, no nothing. You definitely have a headache afterwards. You pretty much have nothing going on in your sleep. Yeah, you had a pretty good night, actually. But you all wake up, and then eventually kind of accumulate in the middle of the bar again, considering is the early morning that y'all wake up and head out, all three of you being early risers for various reasons. Oliver, because you're used to it. Ellie, because you're a barmaid, bartender, bar folk. Because you've been in bars for almost your entire life. You open the bars in the morning, you've done it before. And Averin, it's easiest to steal from people when they're barely awake in the early morning. So you are all three of you are very used to waking up pretty much with the dawn, just not when there's actual sunlight outside. So you all wake up kind of groggily, head down to the main area, accumulate around. Bill is just there at the table, he looks at you guys as you guys walk down, and then goes back to his drink. He seems to be in either deep in thought or concerned about something, but he does appear to be listening to y'all's conversation. He also seems to be, you would say, reading a book. Like, he has a book in front of him, and he's staring at it.
It's just he just reads it, and I was like looks like he's deeply contemplating it, and then you look around and you see that it's upside down.
I love that concept. With any
Everyone's
book,
just-
that'd be true.
Everyone's just like looking at him, and it's just like obviously he must be plotting something.
Yes, this
3,000
poor
IQ.
dumb bird must have a 3,000 IQ plan.
At this point, everyone is convinced of it. He's just so convinced that he must be much smarter than he looks like he is. Everything's a 3,000 IQ play.
The smart, you're like, this is the smartest creature on this planet, and it's just him walking into a brick wall. Smartest
So
creature.
So intelligent, he's transcended the physical plane.
But yeah, so you all kind of group up in that scent area. Almost no one's there. The blue scaled bartender is standing at the bar, just kind of smiling at you guys as he's washing a couple of cups and stuff like that. Yeah, you guys have a general idea of what your next plans are, but y'all have yet to actually talk about it, so this will be a good time to talk about the plans for where you're going, what you're doing, in what order you're doing it, and so on and so forth. And so you're welcome to discuss that and get a meal.
Real quick, Avern's drunkenness, like, how exactly, like, does she remember everything that happened, or?
So
Like-
the entire museum is a very weird and odd blur, with the exception of the fact that you grabbed a very big red crystal and shoved it into one of your bags. I don't remember if I gave you a bag of holding. I think Bill has the bag of holding. So you shoved it into your bag. That you remember with crystal clarity, because you always remember the exact moment you steal something from someone.
Of course.
Everything else is a huge blur up to your conversation with Ellie, which is when you start getting a little bit more sober. So pretty much all of your conversation with Ellie you remember, but pretty much everything between you slamming down the drink that damn near killed you and up to drinking water is just a weird, fuzzy blur that kind of just like dropped out of a window in terms of memory usage.
Yeah, so I do remember my conversation with Ellie?
You remember all the conversation with Ellie, yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wanted
Because
to check.
she was sobering you up,
Yeah.
but getting herself drunk. Because that's what
Yeah.
she does.
Does she have hangover?
Ellie, yes. Averin, no.
Oh.
You drank
Yeah,
enough
it's been
water that you drank enough water that you don't have a hangover. It's mostly dehydration which causes hangovers.
Oh.
Yep. Don't ask how I know this. I've yet to be able to get drunk enough to experience that.
You just have a weird.
I can
encyclopedic
confirm that you do get dehydrated.
I get a lot of
I'm
dehydration
saying
headaches.
nothing else.
Just not drunken headaches. But yeah, you pretty much
No
had a very
comment.
good night's sleeping because of the vast amount of water in your system. So you're feeling pretty top of the morning for the most part, and you remember all of your conversation with Ellie. Ellie
Fascinating.
does not remember the second half of the conversation. She was drinking a lot.
I'm fine.
Oh, Ellie, roll me a Constitution save.
I don't want to throw up on Ollie.
Not gonna throw up on Ollie unless you roll a natural 1. Alright, cool. You're actually, you've drunk in entire
One
bottles
appeared
before.
For a moment on my screen, I was so scared.
You've drunk in entire bottles before. You lived with Grand P. It is not a good thing for your system, and you're fairly certain you're wounding your liver every time you do it. But you get up and you're feeling some effects from the dehydration because you didn't bother to drink any water that entire time. But it's a kind of irritation that you're so used to you barely notice it.
Just like she first got her first taste of alcohol at like age 2.
I've been
Well,
drinking
you
for
know.
so long, even my ass can't tell.
Oh gosh. So everyone's coming down the stairs and some such, and everyone
Mhm.
sees Ellie, and it's just like, "Good morning. Are you? How do you do?"
Most awkward how do you do I've ever heard.
It's like everyone's not used to the emotional stuff, you know.
Everyone's just like, I wasn't planning on being here yesterday, but now that I am, I have to talk to you.
I'm sorry if I did anything weird. Usually Jackson keeps me in place and I don't have bottles ever.
Mm.
So,
Yes.
yeah, according to him, I get really weird and he would rather be the one to deal with me than anyone else. And I almost caught things on fire before. So just so you know, don't ever let me have a bottle.
I mean, when you completely empty it out, I'm more than happy to take it off your hands. You get a storage container for potions and such.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to have full bottles of alcohol anymore, even though that has no effect on me. But it's because I don't hydrate enough. Apparently, I'm a thirsty hoe in a hydration way.
Mm. Yes, well, luckily, I ended up sobering up after our little talk. Not entirely sure how, but I did. And
Oh.
luckily for you, I went ahead and, out of the kindness of my heart, made sure you got to bed safely. So, you owe me. And I will be sticking around with you.
That was you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sad now. That's fine.
No, be happy because I will be staying with you on your little adventure to be a good person or something. So, you owe me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay. That's what it takes for you to stay. See, that didn't work on Jackson, so. But I'm glad you're staying. We get to hang out more. I'm really tired. Feels like I got a lot of rest though, which is really nice. I thought Jackson was helping me around, but it's okay.
Well, you can
I'm
thank
pretty
me
sure
for
it's
that.
just one of those, hey, we're about to go into danger, so let's have some happy, silly memories. You know? Anyway, I need
Yeah.
breakfast in my system, and we need to hydrate because that little nagging grumble and Jackson in my brains it's basically killing me in the inside to hydrate, so.
Yeah, she did mention him a lot.
Just slowly places the alchemical jar on the table. How many gallons do you need?
Of water?
Fill
Yes.
that belly.
Just one is enough. We'll be fine.
I need
This
to
is
actually
normal.
double check how much water this thing produces.
I believe it was 8 gallons, if I remember correctly.
It produces a
I
lot
know
of
it
water.
was
I
at
don't need
least
that much.
3. Oh no, that's the problem. When you call out a fluid for it to produce, it will produce the max amount it can produce.
Jesus Christ.
You don't get a say in it. That's the
potion.
problem.
Yeah, 8 gallons of fresh water.
Just-
Good.
Not up to or anything?
Nope.
Nope, it just creates the full amount.
You give her 4 gallons of beer.
Technically, it's like trans-dimensional space in between, just simply because it's like, it's literally your average size vase. This thing is like small and it just stores that much.
Yeah, it
It's
says
the Mary Poppins of bottles.
Yo,
it says you can uncork the jug as an action and pour the liquid out up to 2 gallons per minute. The maximum amount of liquid the jug can produce depends on the liquid you named. Yeah, so it just can't produce a different one after you name a liquid until the next dawn. But you can cork and uncork it, so you aren't going to be pouring 8 gallons of water onto the table. Just
not one sitting.
yeah, just as much as she needs. I see you pour a little bit of water. I assume you pour some for the whole group. As you guys kind of sit down at a table, Bill kind of stands up. Doesn't really close his book necessarily, but like he walks over to, waddle walks over to your group and sits in one of the chairs and puts his book in front of him and continues to, air quote, read it.
Bill, I think you might be holding that upside down.
Oh, no, I read it this way.
We want to judge.
Everyone looks at him. It's just like amazing. She doesn't say that, but she looks at him with respect in her eyes. I've never thought to read a book like that before, she thinks.
Well, I suppose I have done that a couple times in the past. Not out of an inability to read, just simply because I was bored with what was written on the page and wanted some level of challenge.
I love the idea that like Ellie and Oliver are like, oh, that's kind of odd, and fucking Average is just like, yeah, that's right, smart boy, show me how smart you are. I knew you were intelligent. He just like flips the page, going backwards direction or some shit. I don't know.
I hope you're aware that was just a random throwaway joke, but we could do that if you're certain that's alright with him.
I love it. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Yeah, he's reading upside down and backwards.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a very nice book. It's a, I believe it was a leather-bound book, if I remember correctly. You guys have no earthly idea what it says on the inside, mostly because the outside is pointing at you and there's nothing legible on the outside. So it just looks like a leather-bound journal almost. But it's upside down and he's reading it backwards.
Everyone's thinking it's probably like deep philosophy or something.
Beautiful. But yeah, so what's the plan?
Yes, indeed.
No idea. Nose goes.
Nose goes.
Well, if we're going to be returning to the orc camp, then we're going to need some level of, well, I think it goes without saying we're going to need some level of preparation for a fight of some sort. And knowing the orcs, I'm assuming they're probably going to want to have some sort of strength test.
Yeah, maybe. Personally, I have no idea, because last time we saw the orcs, there was just this huge village and thousands of warriors. And what we know is that the leader has an elf that helps him never die, basically. So we can try to hit up to Big Mama and get some ideas how to confront him.
Well, she'd probably have the best idea out of anyone, especially if we can somehow manage to convince him to some sort of strength-based test that doesn't involve killing each other. And the off chance that that's actually possible.
If there's going to be a strength test to try to convince him not to go to war, we're going to have to stop by Mercy and get Arthur.
I might also have another concoction that could potentially help with that.
Is it a concoction to turn me into a god?
No, it's called a mutagen. Essentially, it's a concoction that will temporarily change your physical capabilities.
Oh.
I love the idea of Ellie just voiding out.
Let's be real. I'm just imagining she just like down on a what's it called? A mutagen of bull strength and just coming out looking like All Might.
Doom, doom! Hi, I am here! Everyone starts screaming.
I'd be willing to take out the mantle of it, but I mean, look at this. My slender, it just doesn't work like that. I probably messed up my code.
To be a little sister, you do have to be little. Ignore the fact that we're almost the same height.
Oh, it's just a general suggestion. Not exactly expecting it's going to come up, but if it does, we have some means out, or some means of simplification.
Bill's like,
So,
Bill like raises his hand and he's just like, so, Mercy? Or the orcs?
As tempting and as wonderful as Mercy would be, I don't know why we would stop there.
He shrugs.
I mean, it could be an interesting time to pop into the town and see how things are doing since the last time we were visiting. Especially given
True.
they probably would have some level of view of Helios on the way.
It was about a week ago, I believe. So probably quite a
2
few things have
weeks.
changed to this point.
Sorry, it's been about 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks, yeah. So almost like over
We've
half a
done
month.
lot of, yeah.
So probably quite a bit has changed.
We can go between here and there to gather up supplies and get an idea of things, and then we can see if Mrs. Claus can maybe teleport us close to Big Mama.
I mean, we still have the design for the portal. He just says holding up the page that she gave him.
Yeah.
Oh. Not to
Yes?
bend your hospitality, but if there was some way that I could open up a communication with Tommy.
Oh, yeah. Ellie's gonna pull out her sending stone and tap it a few times. It's like, yeah, we can get a hold of Tommy. I don't think there's a way to really control the volume or anything, so...
It gets sent directly into their brain.
Ah, okay. My brain went, oh, speaker volume. He's really loud.
It is not the weird owl thing from Harry Potter.
All right then. Now, how does this work exactly?
About 25 words, what you want to tell him, I believe.
Okay.
So I don't think he has a stone also, so it has to be 25 words.
All right. Okay. So let's see. How do I summarize this? All right.
Well, you do have the note you were given, and the big boss guy did not in any way, shape, or form tell you to not open it. So.
All right then. Everett takes the note and just opens it up nonchalantly.
Cool. It's essentially small details on when the party's going to be arriving. Probably a small group of people will be arriving at the Citadel to establish communications with Tommy at insert date here, almost directly a week from when he was talking to you. So yesterday, so a week from yesterday. So 6 days from now. And essentially it's meet with them, make a connection, they'll come back, and we'll set up business, basically.
Alright, okay. Should I actually make the 25 words or
You could just give me a general idea what you're saying, and then we'll assume that you, with your very high intelligence, summarized it.
Yeah.
To be fair, either way, you also don't need to necessarily even make it complete sentences anyway. Just need to have enough indicating words to get the point across.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I believe basically I'm just gonna tell Tommy that about the connections established, tell them when the peoples are coming over, and also tell them that I promised them a force field. So yeah, I did it.
Can Ellie hear this?
She can choose to say it out loud.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Just say that nonchalantly. Just yeah, promise them a force field. Debt sealed.
That sounds like it's going to demand one heck of a strong caster.
You hear back after a couple of minutes.
Probably... I was joking. It's probably
Oh.
Ezekiel.
Yeah, you hear back after a couple of probably a minute or so. You hear back effectively 25 words worth of their reply. Did not realize I had a force field. Connection established. Debt is paid. I'll work it out.
Nice. Okay.
Put salt in every corner.
Try not to die.
garlic.
I might
Salt
need you
and
in the
garlic.
future.
I sure hope you won't.
That's effectively what you get in your head.
Yes, well, seems like the debt is paid. All right.
Oh, good.
Dead? What?
Huh?
You know, never
Yeah.
mind. It's not my business.
No, it's not. All right. All right. So, what's the plan with the orcs?
Those just like, we could see the dwarves. Traveling band of bards was nice.
Still a lot of locations in the country we haven't exactly visited. Might be nice to
Yeah.
have some level of additional vantage point for the effects of the war on the other locations. And we do probably need to spread these ideas around elsewhere as well. Maybe he should walk the direction. Could be a good opportunity to meet up with the dwarves along the way. Get the work. See if we can convince some of them to join this cause.
Traveling band of bards.
Yeah, we've met a traveling band of bards. I already told you about that.
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember.
Really hard to forget hard to forget the group, especially that heavy metal orc.
Roll me
And his little
intelligence save.
slime friend.
Not you, Oliver, Averin.
Me?
Yeah, roll me intelligence
Everyone
save.
will get it. Come on.
I'll
I
roll
believe
this.
in you.
Hey,
Dirty
There you
20.
go.
the heavy
Hey.
metal dwarf does in fact spark some memories for
Orc.
you. You, what?
I thought it was orc.
No,
It
yeah,
was
you're
a
right,
heavy
orc.
metal orc.
Yeah,
Anyway,
the heavy
sorry,
metal
sorry.
orc is a very specific kind of orc. Specifically, the fact that he's a heavy. I believe the term that you would use, Oliver, would actually be death metal orc, because that's what he announced himself as. Unless
I can't remember. I just remember him saying metal and that it was powered by necromancy.
Would you have said metal or death, and would you have used necromancy in your wording?
I would have mentioned metal, and I would have probably mentioned necromancy. Yes.
Okay, the necromancy is the part that really sparks Averin's head, because there is only one being that she has ever met in her entire life that has ever used necromancy for guitar. And that, my friends, is the orc that was a partner of the band that her father ran off in. You remember it very distinctly because it is unpleasant music to you. Specifically, the distortion of the electric guitar that this orc decided was his favorite kind of motif. Yep.
So, what was that about a heavy death metal orc?
Oh yeah, we ran into them when we were in Greytown, I believe. Why? Are you familiar with them? Are they friends of yours?
In a fashion. Now, friend is a slight bit of a stretch, but memories.
Last time we heard about them about 2.5 weeks ago, maybe a bit longer. They were making the comment that they are heading down to the Dwarven lands. So I'd say there's a very strong chance that they're probably long since passed through, if that's a concern.
Well,
Who knows really where they're at now? I mean, since you know them, you might be able to use the sending stone to try to locate them, but
If it's required.
At this point, if we can get a hold as many people as possible from as many places specifically to not participate in the war, the better.
Well,
Can't
I
say-
can certainly try.
Don't say that very likely many of the folks in the crap above game. I'm forgetting what the central area of the continent is.
Rio Town.
Greytown? Rio Town.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not exactly expecting very many of the residents of Ryota to be interested in joining a war or like this anyway. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they're the ones ravaged by the war even more than the orcs and elves.
Fair, though we should still let them know because they were pretty close to the path.
Oh no, I don't disagree with that. They definitely need to know, regardless of whether or not they want to join in. Because Lord knows, if nothing happens, several of them probably are going to be homeless by the end of this war. At best.
Yep.
Bill like slowly looks up from his book. So, Miercy? Dwarves? Orc? Citadel?
I'm not saying I want to go back to the Citadel anytime soon.
Right.
We could do it in
Miercy?
that order.
Dwarves?
We could do that.
He like looks at you very confused. He was like, I was asking which one.
Oh. I mean, we
He looks
could.
very confused.
I would really like to go back to Miercy, personally. It feels like a selfish reason, though.
Ever know Mercy?
No. The only things you've heard about are what Elias told you, which has been mostly telling the Leo about it as you were just standing next to her, vaguely drunk. Sorry, vaguely sober.
Yeah.
Who is Mercy?
It's a town we saved about a month ago now, I believe.
You know, the concept of balance could be such a scary proposition.
Yeah. We saved it, a whole village of people from a equality god that wanted everything to be equal. And now it's being rebuilt as a neutral town. Welcome to everyone, and no fighting.
Oh. There's another god?
I'm still very shocked that a avatar of a god can be taken out through more conventional means.
Yeah. But to answer your question, Averin, there are many gods in this world. Just there's two main ones because they overpower the rest of them. I myself, I'm connected to three gods technically. One's itty bitty, and the other two are the two main ones, Shar and Palor.
You're connected to a smaller god as well? Who is that?
Ezekiel and my mom noticed there's a third aura on me. A really faint gray line. Just a little god taking its rest. Going unnoticed. Not even Palor can tell. And he's dealt with me most of my life.
Sounds complicated.
Could be the reason why I look funny.
You're just like taking a little rest.
Just taking a little nappy nap. Because I don't know if it's a she or he, they haven't talked to me. Though, considering my two different colored eyes and my white hair, it could be why I look so different than Rowena.
Well, I have heard that both of those are technically mutations in their own right. They're somewhat rare, but not far from unheard of.
Mhm.
Even without outside influence.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'm connected to 3 gods.
And you murdered a fourth. Technically.
And I murdered a 4th. Second-hand murder.
Strange. God thing sounds complicated.
Yeah, just a bit. But yeah, we have the little town that's slowly growing near sea. We can get some information from folk that are there just to travel through, or are from the orc area we're going to, or we might find some dwarves there from the dwarven area. Either way, we might find some travelers that are going through the town. We can let them know what's going on. Just start a rumor somewhere. And they'll travel as we travel. That way we can kill... And Ellie pauses, looks at Bill. That way we can hit all of our bases.
Sounds like a good place to start.
Mm.
But, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that.
Cool. So is that y'all's plan?
Sounds like a reasonable plan, in my opinion.
I mean, if we want, we could try to gather up stuff here, but I don't really know Circadia all that much. I mean, we have the allegiance with the king, so that's of use to us, and we know they're not going to be part of the war.
Wait. You managed to come to an allegiance to the king here?
Well, and Ellie shows him the IOU she got.
It looks
From
like
the king.
lines on a weird tattered paper. And Bill kind of raises his paw, hand, claw thing. He's like, he's my new friend. His name's Leo. I found him.
Dang, you really do have a skill for making friends.
I went on a walk.
I
Last
feel
time
like
you
there's
went on a
something I
walk,
should-
you met the paladin.
Yeah. He's sad.
Okay, don't take this the wrong way, but how the heck is it that every time you take a walk, stuff like this happens?
Bill just got shrugs.
Don't take a walk when we're near the orcs, please.
Honestly, that might actually simplify a few things.
No!
I'm
Ollie, you're
not-
supposed
I'm
to be
not-
the sensible one.
I'm not
Ollie.
encouraging it, but... yes, I agree. It's probably not the best of ideas, but... Seriously, how? He almost always seems to run into a more peaceful face every time.
I must still be drunk if our freaking doctor is okay with our bird, or Bill, going into danger.
Calm down, I was
For a
kidding.
casual walk. Ah,
I was kidding.
sure. No, I need water.
Bill's like, I like to go on walks. I don't know where I'm going when I do.
I feel like there. Does Avern remember the business investment thing?
Oh, you vaguely remember the whole ordeal with the museum. You remember that you made the deal that you would come to them, and then also you remember stealing the item. So you're aware that you did in fact meet up with them. You must have if you stole the item from the museum, but yeah, you don't remember your interactions with them at all. You don't remember who you talked to at this point. It's a very
feel
big
like there's-
blur.
I feel like there's a business investment I should remember. Some form of scam, I don't know.
No idea.
Hey, again, and with the word choice, be careful with that. We're in a public space.
I'm sure they've heard worse.
What's scamming?
Well, you see, allow me to enlighten you.
Well, little buddy, I know you're faking not knowing this stuff, so I'm gonna explain it to you.
Averin either thinks that Bill generally doesn't know what scamming is and she's about to greatly educate him, or Bill is making another 3,000 IQ play. Could be either one.
He's playing being an idiot. He's doing a damn good job of that, and honestly, that you can respect.
Honestly, respect.
It really is.
I just imagine Bill just like figured out everything that needs to be done to solve this entire thing. He just hasn't told us because he wants to try because he just wants to try and figure out how to solve, or I should say, he just doesn't want to say it because it's going to cost him too many resources that he doesn't want to use.
I want to be friends with everyone.
It just wants to see if we can find a cheaper way to do it.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. So you thoroughly explained the concept of scamming people, possibly pyramid schemes too, to the poor little bird, who honestly just stares at you blankly the entire time. And then y'all start, packing up your stuff, making forthwith to start going on your journey. You guys start leaving the town.
What the fuck?
Are you okay?
How?
I'm fine.
Is LD transmogrified into a balloon?
Ellie, what happened to
It's
the
fine,
balloon?
it's fine. Continue. It's fine.
What happened?
Nothing. Nothing. I was just excited. Shh. Continue.
Okay.
It's okay.
Sure, if that's your definition of okay, alright, cool.
Alright,
So-
we're making our way downtown.
Walking fast, faces past. All three of y'all, feel free to roll me a d6 if you would.
D6.
Ooh, not starting off great.
What?
How the
That is
Well-
the weirdest combination.
161.
I heard that adding 2d6 rolls together has a high chance of getting a 7, but dear God.
It's either really good or really bad. There is no in between.
I was prepared for middle of the road. I was prepared kind of for really good rolls, and I was prepared for a really, really shit roll. I was not prepared for that.
For an in-between roll.
Midway! Midway!
I'm not sure that can be counted as
Charged by
midway.
Arthur.
But you know what? We'll count that as midway. So you guys are on your walk, right? It takes you guys about a day in total to get from Circadia all the way over to Miercy at a normal pace. I assume you guys are going at a normal pace and not fucking sprinting the entire way there.
I think
As we get closer, Ellie would sprint.
I mean, for the general journey.
Then yes, normal speed.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So as you guys are walking, and you guys go from the sun kind of shining above you to purely gray clouds, as you guys are used to inside of Ryotao. The gray is rather dreary and kind of annoying, and the area around you is somewhat barren. I believe I still have a picture of Ryotao, actually. Do I? I hope I do. Ryotao. I do. There we go. Looks vaguely like that. Couple of hills, mountains, and random stuff like that. As you guys going across, what should I have? Ooh, what'll be interesting? Oh, this is hard. Hold on. I have to use my GM improvising skills. What do I think of when I see the 1616?
Some of us were really good, and some of us were really
So
bad.
remember that thing we saw in the sky in the beginning of the campaign?
Oh yeah, y'all did see
I'm not
that,
gonna give
didn't
you
you?
much detail. Yeah, we did.
Oh
I'm not
yeah,
gonna
I
give you any
forgot
more
about
detail. I'll just
that.
help you remember.
I completely forgot about that. So as you guys are walking, and actually, this is the same place y'all saw in the first place.
Yep.
How convenient.
Yeah, so you
Well, it
guys
was on the
are...
flip
Well, yeah, at least I think it was. Yeah, right, because you're walking away from there.
Yeah.
So y'all
Anyway.
walking through, effectively this is just dreary and boring and just uneven earth. The lot of random tiny hills. The ground itself seems dry and kind of cracked and dusty and muddy and not particularly pleasant. The sky above you is riddled with gray, dense clouds, which seem to be beckoning rain, but there really isn't much. Every now and again, you guys see random sparks of thunder and lightning that pop out just in the distance. In the far distance, all three of you give me a perception check, and I will roll one for Bill.
Perception check.
That's a good roll. That
Oh,
is
nice.
not for Bill. Or who had the 2? Is that Ellie? No. Oh, it was
Two? I
Bill.
thought Stanley got it too.
Bill, yeah, that makes sense. Bill rolling the lowest. Cool. Bill's looking at the ground at the moment. The rest of y'all, Ellie, you barely catch a glimpse of this, but
Ellie's
Ollie
just
and...
focused on where she's going.
You're very excited about going back home. Ollie and Averin, on the other hand, you two, this is somewhat new area for you. Oliver, not as much because you were raised here, but Averin, you've never actually seen much of the outside, so this is very new, interesting territory. You see quite far in the distance, as a lightning strike kind of hits all the way down to the ground, and it's a big one too. Even with Bill's 9 perception, he can still hear the thunder crack that booms out of the area. But as the lightning cracks through the sky, and the sky is filled with a massive glout of lightning, Averin and Oliver, you do see inside of the clouds, specifically above the cloud layer, and is being shined on by the lightning, a giant, and I mean legitimately massive figure that is resting above the clouds in slow beats of its wings. You can't tell exactly how big it is, but considering it's in the cloud layer and it looks fucking huge, you don't want to know how big it is.
Goodness
It is
gracious.
quite a distance away from you, though.
Do we get much of its description aside from its winged avian?
Uh,
And its
you
or
would
can we
see
pick out
you would see
anything
with that
else?
19 and 22. It's pretty much a silhouette of the creature. It is actually, Oliver, you are very what's the word? Measure inclined, I guess. Roll me intelligence
Attuned?
check.
Aware?
Intelligence check for Oliver. Damn, son.
Okay.
Alright. You can tell that this creature, based on its size, based on its distance, based on its silhouette, is at least 250 feet long. At least. Just from the general distance and size and silhouette that you're being presented, and specifically the lightning bolt behind it being small in comparison to it. General gauge of distance, general gauge of size, general gauge of everything like that. It's at least 250 feet long. It definitely has 2 wings. Its wingspan is gigantic. Is probably, if you had to take a guess, around... actually, yeah, probably around where you assume the Trail Blight Tears would be. As you can see in the far distance, very barely, you can see the giant tree that reaches up to the cloud layer as well, in that general direction. So it's probably around where the Trail Blight Tears is. Unlike what you're used to, though, from most birds and stuff, it's not going in a specific direction that you can tell. It's just kind of hanging out. Just kind of flowing in it. You notice this mainly because a couple more lightning bolts go off within probably 20 minutes or so, and it doesn't move very far. So it seems to be either waiting, or it's watching something, or 100 other reasons. All you know is that it hasn't moved very far in like 20-30 minutes that you guys spend walking as you're looking at that distance.
I'm just like gonna look down at Bill and just simply he asks something to the effects of, "Hey, is there like a god of the Kenku or something?" Just looking back up towards the figure.
That's what I was wondering.
No, I don't think so. I could try talking to it. He looks up to the sky.
I
God,
don't think.
God, are you there?
I
No, I don't
it's
think there's a
good-
god.
You guys notice something?
Yeah, right up there, pointing towards the cloud.
A freaking huge bird god thing. Apparently.
Oh. Well, I'll make a note of it. Maybe Palo or Shar know about it. It's probably their pets.
You have a much more difficult time actually spotting it, especially since you can only really see it at the particularly large lightning bolts. But you do notice that it is there.
Do a history check because I did spot it in the earlier campaign.
Yeah, feel free to do a history check. You hear a lot of stories that come around from bars and stuff, so... With a 14, you've heard some stories. Mostly
aiming
they're...
if I would remember.
It might be the same thing that you guys encountered, probably when you started your journey. You did not get a very good look at last time you guys started your journey, and it was mostly a giant shadow that went over y'all. So you're not entirely sure if they're the same thing. It's a gigantic avian, so it could be. But the stories that you've heard is that in Riotao and inside of Cataclysm, there are some massive creatures, from dragons to rocks to birds of all shapes and sizes, possibly even demons and other creatures that reign supreme. You'll mostly find the most dangerous of them inside of Cataclysm in the desert, or more accurately, it's a frozen tundra. But sometimes giant avians like to fly over Riotao. It's very rare that you've heard of a creature staying in one place. Most of the time, any creatures inside of Riotao hunt, so they don't tend to stay in one place. So it's a very strange observation to you. Buff pigeon. It's the best buff pigeon. But it's definitely a giant flying creature. You guys really can't get very many details on it. It could be, honestly, from your vision, it could be, considering it's many miles away from you, it could be either, giant avian, could be an actual dragon, could be a wyvern, could be all kinds of flying creatures. All you know is that it has wings. Kind of, yeah. Kind of that same view, but dirty gray sky and lightning bolts all around it.
Yeah.
Actually, Averin and Oliver, roll me perception checks again.
Yeah.
Because you guys did notice it, so I want to see if you will notice. Averin definitely did. And so did Oliver.
We're the most perceptive people.
I know, right? You guys are noticing...
Perception bonus is a +1.
You guys are noticing, because you're specifically looking at it for a long period of time, you are noticing specifically there's a lot of lightning around it. Like, you guys kind of didn't notice it originally because you're like, oh, lightning cracking down around it, flashing the creature, holy crap, ginormous avian. But as you guys keep watching it, as you guys keep moving, another hour or so passes by. It's still in roughly the same place. Doesn't look like it's pointing in your direction. It looks like you're staring at it from a sideways view. So it's possibly looking down at the trail blight tiers based on Oliver's spatial recognition of areas and such. Can't give precise idea, but it's a kind of idea there. But it hasn't moved much, like, at all in like an hour and a half, and there is so much lightning happening around it. Like, at first it was like, oh, okay, that's kind of weird, lightning cracks constantly. No, there's like, it's like if you guys took like a controlled lightning experiment and just put it in the sky, and it's just like, it's like lightning every like 2 or 3 minutes for like an hour and a half. It's nowhere near y'all, so many of the smaller lightnings, you guys don't even hear because of how far it is from you. But a lot of the lightning, a lot of the bigger ones, you guys are hearing, and so it's just random cracks and booms over the countryside for like the last hour or so.
Huh. Weird.
Stationary cloud alone is a little on the offside.
Bird god of lightning? Watching the death? I don't know.
Whatever it is, I think we're probably best off taking an indirect route to the Dwarven lands if that thing's in the way.
Yes.
I mean, if it wanted to disturb us, it would have disturbed us before. This isn't our first time going through the land.
Considering how far away we are from it, I'm not even convinced it can see us from there.
True.
So time continues forwards, and you guys spend probably around the next 10 or so hours walking or camping, eating, laying sleep paths and stuff like that. But you guys eventually end up inside of... back in Helios, I believe. Yes. No. Yes. No. Wait, hold on. No, wait. Oh my god. I forgot where...
Mirce?
Yes, that's the word.
Mercy.
Oh, right, I named it
was
Equinox.
at the
That's right.
edge. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, because it's right at the edge of Ryoto. So you guys start walking, and you guys do see the clouds starting to part a little bit, and forests start to pop up. You guys go into the forests, and it's a bunch of forests around you. Most of the tops of the canopies are preventing direct sunlight from hitting the ground, and so it's just a layer of heat that's just kind of flooding downwards. The area is starting to get a little bit brighter. Almost to a point hurting your eyes from how long you guys were inside of Ryoto, but you guys are slowly adjusting to it. And you eventually find yourselves at a clearing. This clearing, you guys see a large town inside of a large meadow, almost. There's no trees above the town, which is super weird, mostly because the sun, generally speaking, inside of Helios burns anything it touches, which is why so many trees have grown up, and the only place that this is an exception to is the Citadel itself. So this is a bit odd, but it's the same phenomenon that happens inside the Citadel, so it's just kind of weird. But you do see the town is now bustling. There are caravans popping in and out of the town rather frequently. The town itself seems to be kind of rebuilt. There's no longer a church there, which Oliver and Ellie, you guys would notice immediately. Instead, there are houses, many of them marked with specific colors. The wall itself was torn down at some point or another. There's little like shops that are set up, and stuff like that, essentially.
Yeah, at the very least, it looks a bit nicer here than when we were last here.
To be home, it looks amazing. And Ellie's just spinning around looking at everything.
It looks like a town.
Well, if you experience what it was like prior of how it is now, it's definitely more of a town than it was before.
Looks
It
like
grew exponentially towny.
Let's just say when you could look at the average person and think of them more as a marionette than a person, I think there's a pretty strong chance that there's a lot messed up with the location.
Bill nods at the town. He looks at her and he's like, "It's a town."
Indeed it is. Indeed it is.
Fucking sage conversation. Oh. So y'all start heading into the town then?
Yes.
Yeah?
Alright.
Yes.
Fucking Ellie starts just dashing. Like, she
Ellie's
just starts running.
taking off her boots and going through. This is absolute zoom.
I'm
Everyone's
assuming-
just jauntily walking through, seeing if there's any random passersby she can quote-unquote bump into innocently.
Oh no.
Please, no. No.
Want me to slide
No.
hand?
We're supposed to be doing good, not be wanted.
Dirty 20.
Barely.
Yeah, there's a couple of people that you walk past and you slide your hand throughout their pockets and their bags and stuff. You noticed, yeah, they're pretty much farmers basically. They don't got a whole lot on them. You do get a lot of dirt on your hands and gloves, and about 3 copper.
Everyone
Yeah,
pockets it, dusts off her gloves, whispers to Ellie, "Your people aren't exactly the richest people on Earth now, are they?" Disappointing.
No. This town is starting from scratch and trying to rebuild itself from nothing. So, yeah, you won't get anything here. Though I saw that the lousy king gave you, what was it, 3 plats? I think
10
you're good
plat.
on gold. 10 plats,
10
plats,
platinum.
Averin. I think that's enough.
There is a library, by the way,
Honestly,
that
you
you
could
see.
almost have
Avram.
your own castle.
What was that?
There is a library that you see, Avron.
Oh.
Mhm.
Learn some new
Technically it's a
ways to steal
bookstore, but yeah.
things.
Yes, pickpocket the knowledge.
Oh,
There's something you
information.
don't see every day.
Information is the most valuable resource, you know.
That is very true.
Everyone's just like, all right, well, I'll be heading to the library. Have fun doing diplomat things.
Oh.
Whatever.
Have fun at the library. Last time I saw someone go in there, Ollie ended up with a cookbook, and our friend ended up with a book that made him cry. It's very concerning.
Hmm.
Have fun. I'll drag you out once I find Arthur, okay?
Okay.
The book itself
I
was
don't know
smut,
who
by the way. It was beautiful. But yeah.
I guess while she's out while she's out looking for a particular friend, I'm just going to be looking out for someone that looks like they might have come from the Dwarven lands specifically.
Cool. Avron, feel free to roll me a normal 20 if you would.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, whatever book she finds, she's totally gonna steal.
Wow. Okay. You get very good luck check on that one. You as you walk into the library, you notice that a lot of the books are very, 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 very obscenely, ridiculously old. Like, some of them are so old that you are fairly certain that if you were to leaf through them like a normal book, they may or may not disintegrate in your hands. Kind of old.
She'll have to be delicate when she shoplifts them then.
But there are a lot of them. Most of them mean absolutely nothing to you. Some of them are languages that you don't even understand. The person who's running the shop is like this really, 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 really old dwarf. I mean, like, dwarves live up to, I believe, 500 something years. He looks like if you took a dwarf and you made him have a fully white beard, fully white hair, wrinkles all over his face, and like hunched over inside, like on a chair with a cane, and like like twitching from like old age and stuff, and he's just like, "Hello there, Missy. Do I have something of your fancy?"
Yes, well, I'm mostly here to browse, you know.
Oh, we have something for everyone. What do you like? Got glass books.
Well, I was mostly wondering if I could parse through some more practical technique things, or possibly, I don't know, possibly, I don't know, something akin to that. Whatever catches my eye, you know.
Ah, yes. Let me show you my books on spells for certain types of people. And like he gets out of his chair like fucking the speed of a snail. Like he slowly gets out of his chair, and you hear him click, 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 as he's moving his little cane like maybe like a foot in front of him with every click. It is the slowest goddamn pace that you've ever seen in a creature, as he's just slowly making his way to the back of the shop. It takes like legitimately 5 minutes for him to go maybe 30 feet.
Do you need some help there, sir?
I walk slowly. It's okay. I'm just old.
I can see.
Yes. You may follow me or walk ahead. Most walk ahead.
Of course.
He eventually gets to the back of the shop, and it's like the back right of the shop, and he like kind of stands there, and he slowly raises his cane, and he just like kind of slaps one of the books. You're fairly certain that these are his more sturdy kind of books, and they're also hardcovers. It's as if you pray to gods. Cleric basically spells. It's as if you use music to fancy your fellows. There's one as if you just like banging rocks on people's faces. I have many collections over many years.
Music ones are interesting. Spells.
Yes. I got it from a bard who wished to tell his teaching.
Do you have any on more dexterous techniques? Like hypothetically stealing or something akin to that?
Stealing books I have on the other side of the store. He like slowly reaches into his pocket and pulls out tiny goggles that he puts on his head, and he turns to face the walkway like to the outside of the store, and slowly starts walking about twice his regular speed. Dunk, 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 dunk. We're going fast now, young man.
I'm a lady.
Young lady.
Yeah.
I can never tell your age. Dragonborn thing, I think you... What race are you?
I'm a half-elf.
Oh. I can't see very well.
Are you okay, sir?
He's kind of like making his way over. He's like, I'm okay.
The way that the mic takes the voice.
It is the most haggard breathing you've ever heard from a creature before.
Alright,
Oh goodness.
now that we're over here, this is where I keep my books on thievery. He kind of slaps on the books. Thievery 101, Thievery 102, Thievery 104.
What happened to 103?
It was stolen.
Oh.
Bless
Condolences.
his heart.
Why didn't they steal the entire series?
I don't know. No one buys the first one. Sometimes it gets stolen and then returned.
Not
I
exactly
don't know why.
not exactly the most stellar review.
No, I haven't read it personally. I would, but I can't read.
Oh.
Yeah, I stopped being able to read like 2 years ago. One of my eyes is fake. You know. And one of my lungs too.
Oh. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Clerics keep me alive some days. Other days, it's the knowledge that I can kill people with a stick.
Well, that's always good.
Yeah. I always love seeing them cry and beg for mercy. It fills me with joy. He kind of raises his little cane and smacks another book. How to Torture 201.
Wow. Okay.
It was a good book when I was a youngin'. Most of these are from when I was young.
Must have had a very interesting life.
Yeah. Yeah. I need a nap soon. What are you looking for, young lady? Do you want a leg? Some people want legs. I have an extra one. It's in the back.
Oh gosh.
It's wooden.
Wow. So I think Averin's thoughts is that if she's gonna like tag along with these group of like proper adventurers and get herself into shenanigans, she might need to know how to like better her fighting skills. So something about like knives or something. I don't know.
Knives. I got just the thing. He like puts his hands out and like starts rubbing the books. No. And he puts his hand on an empty spot. Damn it. It's in the back. Alright. Super speed! As he turns. And he starts making his way back to the killer.
Just like casts haste on himself and starts moving 5 feet every 6 seconds.
He's like, haste! And you can feel a small amount of magic pour over him as you notice that he stops walking with his cane as he just goes, This is like one step. It's like his feet are like 6 inches. He's like taking 6-inch steps, like every step. He's like dun 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 dun. It is the slowest running pace you have ever seen in your life. By the time he gets over to his desk chair area, which is probably, another 30 feet or so, he's like leaning on it. He says, I haven't used magic on myself in like 2 days. Oh, good workout for the spleen. He just casually hops the counter. just casually, just fling himself over the counter. And he just starts to slow walk again. Alright, where's that book? Knives. Magic knives. Knives for beginners. Knives for slaying, flaying, bruises and broken bone. Ah, here we go. He grabs a book and walks to the counter and places it down. Knives for those who want to stab people. It has a knife in there, too.
It comes with a free knife.
Yeah. No one ever wants the book, though, so I haven't played out for a long time.
Alright, I suppose I'll take it.
Yeah.
Now,
It's
how
like
much is it?
2 gold for the book and a copper for the knife. The knife is magic,
Ah.
but no one ever uses the knife, 'cause no one ever pulls out the knife, 'cause no one ever gets the book, so it doesn't have a price.
Everyone just like takes out the money and is just like, I was thinking about stealing this, but then I realized that you would probably, I don't know, either I would feel bad because it wouldn't be very hard, or you would stab me, or with a stick.
I could stab you, but it would be very difficult.
Hmm.
But I thank you for your contribution. It is very well needed. I haven't seen money in... He just like stops breathing for a second and just has a dead stare at you. I mean, like 1,000-yard, like comatose, like eyes glazing over kind of stare for like a solid 20 seconds. 2 days.
What? Sorry, I was distracted by your blank stare.
Oh yeah, don't worry. My heart stops beating some days.
You both concern and intimidate me, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Alright, well, I'll take the book then and be on my way.
Have a good day.
You too.
He slams his fist against his chest so hard you're fairly certain you could hear something snap as he starts breathing normally again. Ah, there we go. Need a refresher.
Okay. Everin leaves.
just the awkward, just like, yep, never coming back in. Alright, cool. Oliver, what were you doing?
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. I was going to go see if I can track down a dwarf to get some sort of tips for traversal / how to interact with the folks from the Dwarven lands.
Oh yeah, there's very small, it's not even fully made yet, tavern that's coming up. It doesn't have walls or ceiling, but it does have a floor. And there's like a tiny little sign next to it that just says the corner. For the moment, it's definitely unfinished. But there's a couple people inside drinking. 1 copper for a magic knife. Somebody tell me something's cursed. Yeah. It's very old, we'll see. But yeah, so it's basically like just the floor of a tavern that's been made so far. There's a bunch of people that kind of drinking merrily. It's probably the happiest place you've seen so far in most of your travels. Definitely the most active. There's a lot of people just kind of swinging to the beat and singing to random songs. You see a couple dwarves in there, another tiefling, oddly enough, couple of humans, as well as a variety of various castes. But there is a couple dwarves in there if you want to go talk to them.
I'll gladly step up and start chatting.
Nice. So as you walk up, there's probably the first dwarf that you see is this really rotund fellow. I mean, he's thick and big, and like every time he steps, he has to waddle forwards because of his size. And he's probably around 4.5 feet tall or so. So probably a rather tall dwarf. I actually don't remember what dwarf sizing is. Dwarf 5e height. Yeah, they're about between 4 and 5 feet tall. So he's a rather tall dwarf at probably around 4'10" or so. As he's like has multiple drinks in his hands and he's like tossing them down. He sees and he's like, "Hello, good fellow. Who might you be?"
Sorry to bother you. I'm Dr. Richards. He came here looking for information. If you would be so kind.
Oh, it's no problem, Mr. Richards. I am Iron Betty.
Pleased to meet you. So I actually had a couple of comrades that we were planning to travel down to the Dwarven land and can't even English. Can't even common. I had a couple of comrades and we were planning to make our way down towards the Dwarven lands in a journey down towards the western area of the continent. I don't suppose you have any real tips that we might be able to use down there, assuming you have been down there recently.
I've been down there a couple of times, fella. I am a traveler that goes between places. I am Iron Betty, and I drink heartily. If you wish to traverse the Dwarven mines, there's one thing you need to know above anything else. He's absolutely slurring most of his words, and you're really only catching about as much as you're catching at the moment. And he's like, if you want to go down there, you need to go and bring some drinks. And obviously, all dwarves love creation. We love to make things. We love to tinker. We love to create. And we love to drink and make merry with money. So if you wish to go down there and traverse, you have to bring something that you think we will love. From a drink to a piece of equipment you think was created wonderfully, or drinkers under the table.
Sounds quite complicated. Maybe I should stop by the library down here. Maybe they'll have some sort of tome on tinkering. Could be nice to go refresh my memory on a few things. Sounds like that would be useful. Down there.
Well, always feel free to greet a dwarf with a drink, a hearty handshake, and never a knife to the back. Only an axe to the front.
Well, I have heard that you are quite the durable folk, and I can see what they're talking about.
He like slams his hand, which is holding a mug, against his stomach, and like ale spills everywhere. It's a resounding thunk too. He's like, "Yeah, Iron Betty, the most resounding of dwarfs."
Heck yeah! You've been a big Eric. This conversation has been a big help to me for the trek. Here, let me pay for the next round. I'm just gonna pass him 2 gold.
He looks at you and smiles heartily. "Gold, you'll pay for that? You have made a friend, Mr. Richards. I am Iron Betty, the dwarf. If you require assistance, I will probably be there with a drink."
I'll definitely have to take you up on that someday. Though I'm definitely going to need to work on my own. Oh, now. When it comes to alcohol, I don't quite have the stomach for that yet.
He slams down one of his ale, pretty much tiny barrel cups, and grabs the money and gestures to the bartender, who's this really nice-looking guy in like a suit, and it's like a human. And he's like, "Another round on Mr. Richards for me, sir." Bartender just does it.
Heck yeah. I assume I'm probably going to be sticking in here and chatting with this guy for a bit.
Probably, yeah. That's up to you. Alright, cool. Well, if you're continuing to chat with them, Averin is having fun with Mr. Speedy McGofast before leaving. And then Ellie, we will get to you meeting Jackson and Arthur once again next episode.
You know
as
what?
we discover
I feel
some.
cheated.
No, you get to have some
No,
sweet.
no.
Would you like me
it's-
to
no,
rush this? Would you like me to
no,
rush this moment? You sure?
It's fine.
I could rush
guess I
this
can wait 2
moment.
weeks. Nope. You'll
You
just have to
sure?
deal with my
Yeah.
anxiousness.
You don't want me to like super zoom past this moment with Mr. Arthur and Jackson?
It's fine.
Alright, cool. You'll get a good
Fine.
moment, don't you worry. Mr. Speed Go
It's
Fast
just
one,
2
sure.
weeks away.
Well, if we didn't have
fine.
homework, it wouldn't be, but curse you
I
world!
get to suffer
Yep.
and be anxious
So
and
you get to
everything
live with an Arthur, so
without an
you know.
Arthur and Jackson fun time. It's
Well,
fine.
I will no longer
It's
become her
fine.
Arthur, guys. I'm so sad. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, catch us every week aside from next week on Fridays at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. PST. If you guys want to go check out our Google Sites, which is inside of the links here. You guys can check that out. It's going to have our up-to-date stuff. We will be switching our Sunday and Saturdays after next week. But tomorrow we're going to be playing Half-Full Boyfriend, finishing up the rest of the game, as there's going to be some side stories and stuff like that. Yeah, she gets to be sad about it. And next week, the week of the 12th of March, we're going to be taking off completely from all streams because of finals and homework and such like that. So yeah, so there's gonna be no streams that week, but the next week we're gonna be starting up on Sunday the 19th. We'll be starting up another one, and it will be a game called Buried. So if you guys want to see that, feel free to tune in, stop on by, hit that follow button, go check out Vods of Valhalla or Tables of Taurus, where we put all of our fancy content, and we'll see all of you fine folks next time. Bye!
Bye.
Have a good one.